In the Bible, Jesus tells a story about a man who just got the bejesus beaten out of him by a gang of ancient thugs. So there's the man lying on the ground with blood coming out of him and who knows what else. And then along comes a priest and does nothing about it. And then along comes a Levite and does nothing about it. It isn't until a Samaritan walks by and then helps the poor man in need. This story has become known as the parable of the Good Samaritan. Now, as social psychology demonstrates, it's really not that simple. There's a lot more to the story. In 1973, researchers John Darley and C. Daniel Batson decided to test this theory of the Good Samaritan. It was at Princeton Theological Seminary where they put this whole ruse together. Here's what they did. They gathered 40 students together in an experiment that was ostensibly about religious teachings and vocations. Now, the students were in one building where they were given a questionnaire. After they were done with the questionnaire, they were told to go over to another building where they would either A, be giving a short speech on vocations, or B, giving a speech on the parable of the Good Samaritan. Now, what differed is the researchers told each of the students independently that they were in a rush, that they had to hurry up and get to this event. However, the amount of the rush differed. Now, the students had to move from building A to building B. On the way, they passed an alleyway. In the alleyway was a Confederate, an actor, who was pretending he was sick and hunched over and he was in pain. He was in obvious need of help. And they made sure that the subjects walking by actually saw this Confederate. The question is, would they stop and help? Let's look at the first variable. The first variable was what talk they were supposed to give. Out of the 40 subjects, they were divided into two different groups. The first group of about 20 were said to have to talk about the Good Samaritan parable. The other group of 20 had to talk about just vocations, about some kind of jobs. What the researchers found is that it didn't matter. Whether they were going to talk about the Good Samaritan parable or whether they were going to talk about jobs or vocation, it did not matter. The same number either helped or did not help. Now, the second variable, if you recall, was what we'll call the hurry variable. This was the amount or the degree which the researchers told the subjects that they had to hurry in order to get to the next event. They found that this hurry variable was significantly correlated with the helping behavior. That is, the more they were in a hurry, the less likely they were to help. So remember, we're talking about Princeton Theological Seminary students. What percentage do you think would help? Well, in the high hurry category, only 10% of those actually stopped to offer any assistance whatsoever to the man who was in need. But all the way in the low hurry condition, when there wasn't much of a rush, over 63% of the participants actually stopped to help this man. That's a major difference. The takeaway here is that very often we're too quick to make dispositional judgments about ourselves and about other people. We don't know the circumstances surrounding everybody's situation. Maybe they are in a rush. That's why they're not offering help. Or maybe they do have a lot of time on their hands and they're just bastards.